Good morning, good afternoon to LinkedIn family and Facebook family and YouTube family as well. We're just a couple minutes late due to technical difficulties, but we're still on. And today I thought we were going to have another health coach on to interview, like we said we were going to do. But I thought this might be a good opportunity for everybody to get to know Dr. Irene a little bit better because anytime that you're on the show, it's usually on with somebody else, right? We usually have Rachel Beck on board. We have other coaches, or we've had other people that you've helped on. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to let everybody get to know you a little bit and why you're so passionate in what you do. I mean, people probably are sick of hearing me praise you all the time, so I think it might be better if some of it comes from you, and if it works out, we'll take questions from the audience. Although lately a lot of my audience has been on YouTube, and YouTube doesn't allow that. So hopefully we'll get some Facebook friends and we'll get some LinkedIn friends that'll give you a question or two. How's that sound today?
Sounds awesome. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, cool. You know what? Today feels like a lot like I'm in Canada, in the Midwest
Really?
here. It is cold today. I've actually got the heat on. We went straight from summer to winter. It's 36 today, for Pete's sakes. And that's Fahrenheit, not centigrade. I know you're a Celsius person, so
I'm bilingual when it comes to that. I can talk in both.
okay. So we're near zero. So I think in Celsius, that would be what 36 would be, what, about 4 degrees Celsius,
Yeah, 3 or 4.
right? Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, hey there. I'm in Canada with you.
Well, we'll just
So
have
all
to.
right, let's just jump right into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, you are an MD, you are a DC, as well as a acupuncturist, right?
Hmm.
And health coach extraordinaire. So let's
And
talk about
success
let's
coach.
and a success coach, yeah, as well. Let's talk about your MD a little bit.
Okay.
Why don't you tell folks about that? Let's get to know you. We'll start out with your MD and your DC, and then we'll kind of progress through all the different acronyms.
Well, okay. How about I start at the beginning and
Please do.
just and give you like the broad overview. So my very first degree was in human biology, and it wasn't a typical biology degree in that it it actually taught us how very innovative ways at the time, because I'm a unicorn, like, in other words, back from when the earth was green. And at that time, what we learned to teach clients was neurophysiological meditation, biofeedback, which is learning how to control your so-called involuntary nervous system, and so other techniques like that. So it wasn't just a straight biology course. And so that really whetted my appetite for, I'm going to say, whole body or whole mind, body, spirit medicine and health. And so we that also included, it's called things like psychoneuroimmunology, like, again, your ability to change your immune system and using your mind,
Hmm.
really, things like that. That was part of that. So then I went from there to getting my doctor of chiropractic degree, and from there added in acupuncture. And I was trained in both I'll say traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, as well as contemporary Western medical acupuncture, as well as energetic acupuncture, now, which was more like an Ayurvedic uh, way of approaching it. So all the way along, I was already going, okay, what pieces of the puzzle do I need to help those people that normally can't be helped? That's always been a passion of mine, is helping those people that know that were falling through the cracks,
Mm.
really falling through the cracks. And so I was already on that path and taking other certifications as well when I crashed and burned. In other words, I hit what I call flame out syndrome. In other words, I hit the wall literally in a near fatal car accident where I lost consciousness and drove straight into a massive rock face in northern Canada, which, my two young sons were in the car. My young son had a catastrophic brain injury. My 6-year-old son developed PTSD from what he witnessed at the scene. I broke 10 bones, had a mild brain injury. Uh, and and so we were lucky to survive. And in fact, for the first few weeks, they didn't know that if my youngest son would survive at all. And even after they decided, and with emergency life-saving surgery, that he would, they said he's never going to walk again. He's never going to talk again. He's not going to pass high school. And that was just totally unacceptable to me on so many different levels. One, as a mother,
Hmm.
to accept this. And number two, as a doctor who had so much training already in the miracle of this body, the mind, body, spirit, and the ability to self-heal and neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to change and to grow and to heal. And so, even though all of the experts at the time looked at me like I had 3 horns or that I was just this delusional mother, I was even accused of being abusive
Really?
because of my views. I literally was. I really was. So, but I was just like, no, I refuse to accept that, and I'm going to make sure that we blow those prognoses out of the water, because I was told that I was, going to be, in a wheelchair for almost a year, that I would only walk with a cane after that, that I would need both hips replaced. Like, it was just like this kind of stuff that I went, yeah, no, not taking that. And so I went looking for whatever resources, pieces of the puzzle that I needed to heal my sons, to heal myself, and then of course how to heal everyone else so that they didn't have to experience what we had experienced. And so I actually went back to and got my medical degree, and as well as certification in brain injury, as well as leadership coaching and uh, personal development coaching and success coaching. Like, no, it's because my flame out syndrome happened because I thought I was on top of the world, and really I was running on empty and didn't know it. So that to me is why, even though I'm a doctor, I became a success and leadership coach. In other words, it's like anything possible that would help my clients, my family, myself work smarter instead of harder, optimize their energy efficiency, work at the highest level. Again, because I refuse to accept this, that all you could do is dial it back, right? That's, which is the typical mantra, right? Self-care, dial it back, work-life balance. And I'm not dissing those. And at the same time, I truly believe, I'm a geek when it comes to superheroes, that we are all born potential superheroes, real life superheroes. In other words, we all have our own unique set of gifts, talents, and genius. And so, what is it that we need to do to fulfill that potential? And so I went looking for those answers, and many years later, I'm happy to say that my youngest son not only walks, talks past high school, he's about to graduate from engineering at one of the best universities in Canada. And yes, I just about cried. Actually, no, I did cry when he was accepted. I have to admit I did. And then there was like the journey to help my oldest son, and then there was the journey to work through my injuries and and again refusing to accept prognoses, and 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 that has given me a passion for helping people with severe pain. Like I can truly say after breaking 10 bones that I have experienced just about every form of pain there is out there.
Mhm.
And I have experienced that pain so intense and powerful that, you literally feel like you're vibrating inside yourself, almost having like this out of body experience
Mhm.
because, you have to separate yourself from the physical pain. So it's given me a passion for helping people on so many different levels. And the underlying piece of it, the secret sauce, if you want to call it, what I learned is that we can be those real life superheroes. We can heal and we can live the best lives possible. It's what I call true 360-degree success. Like what it's not just success of what, in your wealth and career. That's very, very important. But it's like, okay, what's a 10 out of 10 success in your health and energy, your relationships, your personal life, your spiritual life? And
Yeah,
now I'm here with you.
and that's amazing, and it's a great story. The way I came to get to know you and be involved and benefit from your techniques and coaching is I threw a mutual connection on LinkedIn, introduced us, and I took your boot camp. And at the time that I took the boot retrain your brain boot camp, it was a very stressful time at the office, at the organization that I was working for, and I was having difficulties with it. On top of the fact that I had MS, or still have it, it didn't go away. I still have MS, and stress makes that worse. And through Dr. Irene's coaching, right? And using her techniques, not only did it help me deal with the stress much better and bring me down a couple levels, it was actually eliminating or alleviating some of my MS symptoms that medication could not, which was a big bonus. So as you work with people, right? Um, how does your approach differ from person to person, or from let's say, for example, you're working with a group of people on their weight and weight loss, as opposed to when you work with a group of people when you talk about managing pain, chronic pain, right? Because that's kind of me, with MS. It's always constantly there, and you've helped me with that. How do you differ the two?
That's a really great question, Bob. The At the basis, the beautiful part about it is I've created a 5-step blueprint to shift from stress to success. And in other words, emphasizing the success. And I'll apologize. I see that my internet is glitching here. The and that I have found is are the necessary steps and the cornerstones for everyone to enjoy a 10 out of 10 success in all areas of life. And and then at the same time, right, we're all different. And so when I do my elite intensive one-to-one coaching, which you have had in addition to taking the programs, that that gives the ability to really hone in on what is behind. In other words, that 5-step blueprint is there no matter what, and it holds true. It's the foundation for everyone in their journey. And at the same time, when we do the elite intensives, it really gives me the opportunity to work with a client and hone in on what their specific needs are, what their strengths are, um, and come up with a personalized success plan based on that, right? Because it's like saying, no, there is no one size fits all.
Hmm.
I'm going to say that right off the hop. There is no one size fits all. Even taking your situation with MS, right? There is no one size fits all approach for multiple sclerosis or autoimmune conditions or pain, right? Because why? You had a different road leading up to that ended up in that diagnosis, right? So, yes, of course, in scientific geeky terms, the gold standard of of guidance and coaching is to do the elite intensives,
Hmm.
right? That's high touch, high support, um, just really delving in. It's like I always use the example of a thorn, right? That if you try and just pull a thorn out of the ground and it breaks off and you don't get to the root, what's going to happen? It's going to grow back, and it's
Hmm.
going to grow, likely you're there, it's going to be, thank you for pruning me, I'm going to grow back like even worse. Or to do my superhero or mythology geeking, it's like you cut off one head of the hydra, and what was it, 100 more would grow back, or
Hmm.
10 more
Yep.
would grow back,
Hmm.
right? That is why you have to drill down to the heart and really get down and pull all of it out. And what we find is that when we can drill down and get to that heart of the matter, of the cause, and work on that, then everything else just magically dissipates. And so, as I said, that's the gold standard. And I love people, helping people with their unique challenges. And you could say, especially given my clinical history, my educational history, my personal history, I attract in people with, we'll say, who are complicated. We're complicated. So, Bob, you're complicated. And I mean
Hmm.
that in the best way possible. In
Yeah,
other
I've heard
words,
that in a bunch of different ways.
right. So, in other words, those severe, complicated cases that have not been helped in any other way, which is really one reason why I have the training that I can speak to health and wellness. I have the training, I can speak to relationships, to success, to leadership, right? In other words, it's like I deliberately made sure that I had the training so that all of the answers were in one place. And because people who have severe, complicated challenges are frustrated. They're tired. They're just like they're about to hit the wall, like I did,
Hmm.
right? And so my special passion is helping them. So I kind of got like this reputation as like the last resort doc, like the problem solver,
Hmm.
because it's fulfilling for me to help those people who can't be helped in any other way. And it's fulfilling for me, and a personal challenge
Hmm.
for me to
Yeah.
help. So that's the elite intensive. And at the same time, recognizing that while there are people out there who want and need, must have really, that intensive support, so that they can have it all done yesterday, um, that's not necessarily a reality for most other people, right? Because
Hmm.
that's right. So we created at the Stress to Success Shift Institute a series of group programs that still have the live coaching, still have the and mostly small group, right? So you still get the attention. We do hot seat sessions so that your specific challenges can be addressed in, say 15 minutes,
Hmm.
right, for that week. And, as a viable alternative. So what we're finding is that we did this so that to make it way more affordable for our clients, and so that we could help more people at one time. And actually, the beauty of it is that it's part of that secret sauce to have the social support,
Hmm.
have that accountability. And we also have the our private stress to success shift community, which I know you're
Hmm.
you're part of, Bob. That's off Facebook. It's completely confidential. And right, to provide that social support for everyone. And our programs give that another level as well. So again, we found a way to take that high touch, high support, accountability piece of it that is ever so important, and apply it in a small group session, setting, so that our participants can get the same results, and sometimes even better, depending,
Hmm.
as somebody who does the Elite Intensive. You can speak to that because you've done both.
Both.
You've
Hmm.
done both the
Yeah.
group programs, and you've done the individual, the Elite
Hmm.
Intensive as well. So, and so there's pros and cons to both, which is why I never recommend necessarily that everyone has to do the Elite Intensive coaching with myself or any of our faculty. In fact, I would rather save people money and say, if this is what will work for you, the small group coaching, let's do that instead. Right.
Well, what's really cool
And
about the group is that you get all
mhm,
you get some natural support in there, right? Of other people
right.
that are struggling the same way that you are, right? Or looking to continue to grow the same way you are. So that's the beauty of it. The same thing. It's the beauty of the community as well, too. It's all people banding together, right? And helping each other up, which is really cool. I didn't interrupt you. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry.
No, no. Hey, that's what this is all about. I wanted your perspective on this. So, like, because I can say stuff, right? But words don't teach, right? The
Mm,
beauty of you and I talking about this is that people can hear from somebody who's been through it, and and you know I know you like me and everything, but I know you're not going to just say that it's the best thing since sliced bread, which we won't talk about as far as health, if it weren't true.
right. No, I
Okay.
wouldn't.
So
Absolutely, yeah. Because I got a reputation as well, too, right? We all
absolutely
do. We all do. So it would make no sense for me to not be truthful about it. And I remember the first time we had this conversation, I told you that I was going to be your biggest acolyte. And I've kind of turned out to be that way. And more recently, which was really cool, last week we did a live with Dr. Dan,
Mhm.
because you were doing a master class on your weight loss program, and it helped me reconnect with an old friend from high school. She reached out
Love
to
it.
me over the weekend and said, "Hey, I need to, I watched the show. I want to take this class, and I forgot to write down the link for it. And I could have given her the link, but instead I did the next best thing. I gave her your email address directly. Sorry, to contact you.
Love
Well,
it.
I wanted her to have that experience too, and I know you like to touch base with as many people as you can. And I just thought that was more important. And lo and behold, you did. And now she's looking at the master class replay, and she sent me a message saying that she wants to get involved. So I mean, that's
Love it.
it's amazing how what's the old saying that all waters lift ships or something like that. I forgot that old saying.
Being the
Uh,
tide that lifts all ships,
yeah, yeah,
raises all
and
ships. Yeah.
yeah, and I think you are that tide. And what I've put down at the bottom of the screen here, I actually had the free community banner, but also booking a strategy call with you. I think that's really
Yeah.
important. Um, uh,
Yeah. Because it's, if in doubt, reach out.
yep,
Hey, that rhymed. Uh, the I'm such a geek. What can I
yeah, good
say?
tag.
Guys, if you want to work with me, you got to get used to my geekiness. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's part of me. The Here's the thing. My whole way that when I was in physical practice was that I only took on people if I really truly believed I could help them. And there were many times when I would lovingly turn someone away because and I would give them other supports and
Hmm.
recommendations. And I'd have people be upset at me, but here's the thing, I really truly was like, I want 100% success. I want 100% success for you. I want 100% success for me because it doesn't do me any good feeling like crap if I don't help people,
Hmm.
right? So, yeah, please just reach out. We'll have a conversation, and as I said, no pressure because I'm only going to recommend what I feel is best
Right. And
for you.
it may not be you that's actually doing the coaching, right? Because you surround it, which is really cool. You've surrounded yourself with a fairly large faculty of other doctors and coaches and advisors that are specialists in their own right. Right. You have Dr. Amy, who is a specialist for autoimmune disorders, right?
Dr. Elizabeth. Dr.
Dr.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth Yarnell, autoimmune. I
Yes.
forgot
Mhm.
Dr. Amy is.
So we have a number of faculty, and I'll just jump in on that one and say, yeah, that's the beauty of it, is that when, unlike say other coaching, that you get coached by one person, when you join the institute and for the elite intensive or our small group coaching, you're not just stuck with one person,
Hmm.
with one coach, right? Because remember I said complicated, right? Human beings are allowed to have more than one thing wrong, and most often do. Let's
Hmm.
face it,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I have surrounded. In fact, I told you. I think we have somebody else that's joining the faculty too. But currently, we have 13 faculty members. Um, so there's Dr. Dan, who is the director of functional medicine. So he kind of heads over everything. He
Hmm.
is a weight loss resistance expert, and he and I are co-leading the upcoming 8-week sustainable weight loss boot camp that's starting on Monday, the 24th.
Awesome.
Um, yes, and um, we have. Uh, I'm just going through the men and then the women. Then we have Dr. Eric Smith, who is a doctor of chiropractic, an elite fitness trainer. And so he is our director for elite fitness. We have uh, Jerry Leonarducci, who is our financial coach. We have Doug Thorpe, who is our leadership coach. And we all kind of overlap, but these are
Hmm.
the specialties. Then on the women's side, we have Lori Villarreal, who is our director of women's health and specializes in women's hormone balancing. We have Dr. Amelia Scott Barrett, who is a Stanford trained neurologist and specializes in migraines. We have Dr. Tina Stein, who is a double board, I think, certified psychiatrist who specializes in the non medical causes of depression.
Hmm.
We have Kate Vasquez, who specializes in women's anxiety. We have Laura DeCiceris, Dr. Laura, who is women's metabolism. Joseph Cramp, who is our support team, who is a certified life coach with Mind Valley, and he specializes in grief and loss. So we have so many amazing, and I've probably forgotten them because I was trying to list them off at the top of my head. The beauty of it is what I'm saying is that when we bring somebody into the fold for the Elite Intensive, we actually, it's not a buffet like a smorgasbord and say, go, you decide what you want, kind of like going to a resort and saying,
Hmm.
like even a wellness resort and saying, oh, I'll have a massage this day and I'll have an acupuncture this day, or I'll have a chiropractic this day, or, right. We take you through a comprehensive 360-degree assessment that puts your whole life under a microscope, including your career, your wealth, everything. And then we determine what your weak links are, because you are only as strong as your weakest links.
Hmm.
And then we create a personalized success plan for you. That may mean that you may be working with me for part of it. You may be working with Dr. Dan for weight loss resistance. You might be working with one of our success coaches, right? So that it is right. That's the beauty of it, is that we can have faculty members parachute in to give you that elite intensive experience.
Yeah,
And
it's a very well thought out setup, and it's just so impressive. I'm the more I learn each time, the more I'm amazed, and I recommend everyone out there that's watching book a strategy call. Maybe you're not a candidate for the lead intensive, but you definitely could benefit from one of the classes or boot camps. It's definitely worth the call. Definitely worth the call. So, Dr. Irene, thank you so much for being on the show again and sharing so
thank
much
you.
about what you do. We didn't get any questions, but I'm not surprised by that because a lot of our viewers were on YouTube, and I wish YouTube would fix that and then not allow that. But we'll do this again for sure. And please join us. And thank you. I appreciate you being on board.
Mm, thank you so much for having me here again, Bob.
You're welcome. All right. Have yourself a great day and book a strategy call today. I say this often. One connection can change a life, and Dr. Irene is definitely that connection.